This is Charlie giving you Wednesday's video, and what we're going to talk about today is the trade of the year, just over these next few minutes, because I'm a firm believer that if you're a swing trader, it's usually just a handful of standout trades that are responsible for much of your performance over the period of 12 months. Likewise, for day traders, it's very often just a few trades that often give you the bulk of your monthly returns. Now, I'm not saying that you just have a few trades and that's it, because the others might give you, they'll still be giving you your bread and butter, but there will be standout trades, whether you're a day trader and looking back over a month and you say, wow, yeah, over the course of that month, it was really just a few standout trades. The rest of the trades were there, and they might be giving you some profits and some losses, but there's a few standout trades that really make up the bulk of your month. And if you're a swing trader, there'll be a few standout trades that make the bulk of your year. And so if you do some detailed analysis of your trading journal, it may well surprise you just how few trades it takes to deliver so much of your performance. Now, does this mean that you shouldn't trade as much? Well, there could be an argument for that, but that's not what I'm really talking about, because sometimes you need to take those other trades because you don't know which ones are going to become those bigger winners in advance. You don't actually know that. And so it's not necessarily saying, oh yeah, just trade a lot less, because you still need to be taking all those other trades because you don't know which ones are going to become necessarily those big trades. And also, I think you do need to be in the markets. You need to be there taking these trades in order to find those, like people will say to you, oh, that was a lucky trade, wasn't it? You got hundreds and hundreds of pips out of that trade. And you say, well, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And I'm a big believer in that. And so if you're there and you've done your prep, so you're there, you're in the markets, you know what you're doing, then funnily enough, those opportunities do come along periodically that we manage to find. So personally, my trade of the year, and I know we've still got 2 months to go yet, but my trade of the year was probably back at the beginning of the year. I've had a couple of nice ones this year, but this one I remember probably because this is on the euro dollar actually, probably because a couple of factors really. One, it was the beginning of the year, going from January through to February. And so you remember that because it really kicked off the year, and also it enabled me, one of those trades where I managed to build the position as it was going up and then execute right at the high. I mean, literally I executed on this day right near that high. That was a trend line that I'd got in place from before. So if we go back, you can see it was an old trend line before. If I go to a weekly chart here, hopefully we can see it. There we go. So yeah, there we go. So it was this old trend line from the previous year. And old trend lines can become resistance, and here is where we were into February. I'd got down in this zone in January and ran it up to that trend line and literally executed, if we take it back to the daily chart, and executed and exited at that point. So you don't always get out right at the high on these trades, but again, it was a memorable trade because it was like that, and it just ran all the way up, and it wasn't like huge numbers of pips. It was a decent number of pips. Obviously, it was 400, 500 pips, whatever. But it stands out because it was beginning of the year, so you remember that, and because of the way that it was executed as well. So what's your trade of the year as well? Do let me know. And it doesn't always have to be a huge number of pips, like thousands of pips or anything like that. It could just be, do you know what, Charlie? I had an 80 pip trade and it was just executed so well. I was just really pleased with that trade. Doesn't have to be anything huge. So anyway, that's my discussions on trade of the year for this week's video.